Well, what do we have here? Okay, guys, so I just logged into the game this morning, and apparently we have this 1,000 Heroes Celebration event Part 2. I wasn't exactly expecting a Part 2 to this, but it's coming with this brand new banner here. This is a banner with a whole bunch of duo and harmonic heroes that you can summon for. They are color sharing, and we're also going to get 5 tickets for the banner from doing missions here. Let me just quickly log in and we can take a look at the missions. So you get 5 tickets for the banner, and you just got to do easy stuff like KOing foes with specific movement types, infantry, armor, cav, and flying, and etc. There's more missions with like other weapon types and stuff, but basically you just want the 5 tickets for the most part. So let's go ahead and take a look at this banner now. Let's see what's cooking up over here. I'm very close to the spark on this, by the way. I'll get my 1 copy of Plumeria, and I guess I'll dip. I was able to pull Sed on the way on one of the summons, so I was pretty happy about that. But okay, this is the new banner that we have, 1,000 Heroes UwU, special heroes, basically. I don't know why they always go with that UwU symbol for the banner name. So, limited time event, 5-star focus special heroes, 1 free summon, ends in 12 days, and there is a spark. I can't tell if that's a Fey Pass spark or just everybody is allowed to spark. Would be really nice if everyone can. I think that is the case. Let's take a look at the rates here. Okay, so there are pity breaks. It's 6% for focus and then 2% for non-focus. So you can get pity breaks on this banner, which would have been nice if they turned that off, honestly. It's a 6%, well, 8% for 5-star overall, but 6% for the focuses. And then there's also the 4-star special rates to be had here. So we have 3 colors, or 4 colors. Let's go ahead and take a look at each one and see which color is actually the best. If there's any color you want to snipe on. Red is godly, honestly. Look at this. We have Summer Edelgard color sharing with Duo Chrom. Are you kidding me? These are like 2 of the best units in the game still to this day. Like Chrom, you could make the case Chrom is the best arena unit. He's got... How much does his duo skill raise his score? Okay, it raises his score to 195, but then his To Change Fate scores 500 SP, which is the highest scoring assist in the game. So, with that, and then also with the tandem of having gold border skills for every single slot now, this guy, even though he scores 195 from the duo skill, it actually bumps up to 200 thanks to his assist. So, this guy scores well above his prey grade. He can still be worthwhile, definitely in arena. He's amazing in basically all content. He can support allies by giving them the pulse effect when he repositions them. He can also pop this duo skill to put up Grand Strategy, which is also not a start-a-turn thing, so you could do this later on and have some additional effectiveness. It gets by some of the counters to Grand Strategy by doing it that way. So he's just excellent, awesome unit. Same thing with Summer Edelgard. There's not really any flaws here. She could be argued as being the best Gale Force unit in the game because of this. Raging Storm lets her take 3 actions per turn. She has a brave attacking weapon. You can also give her the Bold Fighter Sacred Seal. She can double up as a far save or near save option if you want by giving her Hardy Fighter, and then you just give her the save skill of choice. There's just so many things, so many applications to this unit. She's just so nuts. And then she can pop this duo skill to just get Resonant Shields and bonus doubler on all characters from, what is it, Radiant Dawn and also 3 houses. Yeah, so just no shortage of good units there. Red is fantastic. Then we have blue, which is also equally as good. We have 2 really high-tier meta units as well. So the Winter Cordelia, basically just Bride Catria side grade. I don't want to say 2.0 because in some situations I still like Catria more, but in more cases than you might think, I do actually like Cordelia more. For instance, in Aether Raid's offense, I do prefer Cordelia because she's a little more consistent with the Gale Force, and it's just a little bit more consistent to use dual strike than to use triangle attack in Aether Raid's offense, I feel. So you only have to move 1 unit to get into position to use dual strike as opposed to 2 for triangle attack. So in a lot of situations, this unit is better. Also, her duo skill, I think, is way better. So Resonant Blades and Treachery and attacking speed up 6 to allies from Fates and Awakening. 2 of the most stacked rosters in the whole game. So it's very easy to see why this unit is bananas. Then, of course, we have Duo Thor, Duo Thick. The baddies right here, they are just as bad as ever. Nowadays, we just ditch Worldbreaker for Guidance 4 or Soaring Guidance, and the rest is history. I mean, they pre-charge their own special. They inflict exposure and stall on the foes. They have a pretty good visible res, so you could also try out the new gold border ploy skills on them to do further debuffs to the enemies. Like, the exposure stack is a little bit redundant because you would also get exposure from there, but then you could also turn off, whatchamacallit, bonus doubler and also, grand strategy if you want it. Actually, no, I take that back. They have the duo skill, which does that for you anyway. So you just pop this duo skill, and they can neutralize any active bonuses on the foe. So that would mean you're already turning off bonus doubler and also grand strategy right there. You can also inflict gravity, and the effect radius is huge, 5x5. They're flying types, so they can get Hinoka support to move 3 spaces with charge, or Arion support as well. So, like, this unit's bananas. They're still, like, one of the best units in the game. So, blue and red look really powerful here. Okay, then we have green. We've got the Groom Roy, and then we also have Dagger. Duo Dagger is insane. Like, this unit has not aged a day since the day she came out. Being able to give Pathfinder to your whole team is just the dumbest thing in the world. Like, what the hell were they thinking with that? It's so OP. Just on turn 1, particularly in Summoner Duels, you could just completely change the shift of focus from the first turn, like, in your favor with this. You can get more units into the square. You can push the enemies out by boxing them out, by trying to prevent them from getting hit by any of your guys. Pathfinder interacts with Kanto for whatever reason. I don't know why they would make that happen. And then they just naturally have Pathfinder built into the weapon. They get a lot of stat swings. They're not as crazy in combat now as they were when they came out, but that doesn't really matter. This duo skill just, like, is a game winner if you pop it at the right time and with the right units. So they're still very powerful. Roy is really good too, except he hasn't aged the best in terms of weapon, I would say. He does have effective against calves, or effective against dragons and beasts, which is kind of nice. He's got the -1 special trigger. He has a lot of stat swings, actually. He gets all stats of 5, and then he can possibly do all stats -6 on the enemy, depending on how many total bonuses are active, which he gets a lot. His C skill gives him attack and speed up 6, and also attack and speed up 6 to allies in 3 spaces, which is really nice. It's also got tempo built in, which is really cool. Tempo is a rare effect to be getting, but it's also one of the more powerful ones. So just the fact that he's getting tempo for free is really good. And he can do a lot of damage. He can blow stuff up pretty decently. It's just that it's hard for him to pierce DR, so I guess maybe if you got a Lear support, that could help him out a bit. Although Alir and this guy don't really play too nice, because he doesn't offer his support to dragons. The racist that he is. Okay, and then his duo skill is really good. Defensive res up 6, treachery, and resonant shields to characters from FE6 and FE7. FE6 has a barren roster, honestly. There's not too many good things in FE6. FE7, on the other hand, there are quite a lot of good units from there. In particular, I guess from FE6, you would be looking for Bride Lilina and Legendary Lilina, because Treachery does enhance the damage of Gifted Magic, which is pretty silly, as can also Exposure, which is a good skill to get on those Lilinas now with the new Gold Border Ploys. So you can actually do some pretty good damage with those units with this guy. So he's not the worst, but I would say certainly red and blue are ahead of green there. And then finally, we've got Colorless with Duo Nina. This unit is insane as well. It's insane to me that people sleep on this unit. Like, are you crazy? She has the highest reach in the game. 6 space reach when you pop the duo skill. You get +1 movement. You get the highest Kanto back in the game as well. Kanto Recall, which can potentially just pull back 4 spaces, which is the same as Kanto Distant. They also are able to just do a ton of damage. They can blow stuff up pretty easily. They have either Blade's Home or Broadleaf Fan, depending on which effect would give them more bonuses. Then they also have Lethality, which is pretty simple to ramp into. They don't have -1 special trigger, and they don't have a Brave attack. So that means Brave Robin's support with the Rally Spectrum is just an instant -2 for Lethality with them. And it's not too hard to get another -2 with, like, Duo Asker or, like, yada yada yada. There's many ways to just pre-charge Lethality with them. And this game is all about mobility. It's how many spaces you can move and how many spaces can you Kanto back. So, like, people that think this unit is bad need to get themselves checked. Alright, and then finally we have the Winter Lysithea to wrap up the banner. I'm not really too particularly high on this unit anymore. They were amazing, of course, at the time they came out. -1 special trigger, attack and speed up 6 in combat, and then they have either a Brave attack or a Desperation effect, depending on the difference between speed of them and the enemy. So either way, they're hitting you twice in a row for the most part, but they lack in stopping power. They don't really have a way to bypass enemy DR. They can get a lot of stats with their duo skill, giving bonus doubler, attack up 6, and resonant blades, but there are more easy ways to power through opponents now, especially if you're able to pierce DR. And then we just have a better version of Lysithea now with the Tea-Time Lysithea, who is a better movement type for this particular case. I would say flying is better because you can get charge. And then she can also just annihilate the enemies with that ace skill she's got. So probably the weakest unit on the whole banner overall. And I would say that does hurt colorless a little bit. So if you're going to summon on this banner, I would say definitely red and blue should be the top priorities. If you're interested in Cordelia or Thor, or if you're interested in Edelgard and also Crom, then red would be the best bet. If I have to make one choice, I would say probably red is the best one. Crom is the highest scoring unit on the banner, and then he's accompanied by Edelgard, who's also a very high scoring unit, so they have arena scoring capabilities there. And then this unit scores really good in resonant battles, and she's just, like I said, she can do every single role, and so can this guy. He's good in every single mode, so just because of scoring, I might put red ahead of blue. But in terms of unit power level, I think blue and red are just about on par with each other. And then colorless and green have one shaky unit accompanied by one really good unit, so that is the only downside to those. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about this very special surprise banner that just came out of nowhere. This is your boy Tacho signing out. Take care, fellas, and I will catch you guys again on the flip side.